This is Pocket Watching with JT, the call-in financial talk show focused on helping you get your money right. Jason Thornton is a certified financial planner, licensed in both tax and investments. Now, this is not personal financial advice. This is JT's real reaction to all your money and business questions. Are you deep in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, and looking for a way out? Call Pocket Watching with JT, the financial advisor for the people. Need more? Book your personal consultation with my man JT at PocketWatcher.net. Now, let's go Pocket Watching.
Hey, Pocket Watchers. Welcome to Pocket Watching with JT. I am certified financial planner Jayson Thornton, and I am a financial advisor that specializes in tax and wealth planning for my clients. And on YouTube, I react to scammer news, I react to bad financial advice, and your money questions. So big shout out to each and every one of you. I am officially over 80,000 subscribers, on my way, slowly but surely on my way to 100,000 subscribers. So help a brother out. Hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe if you have not already, because we are going to have some fun. So listen, we need to get straight into this thing. There's a lot of buzz around this topic, and I really want to share my insight, my point of view, the way I look at things. So tonight's show, we're talking about the HOTEP hustle. The HOTEP hustle. Now, I am aware that there are many people who do not like it when I use this term HOTEP hustle. I'm aware. I got it. I understand. But here's the issue. The reason why I use this term, the HOTEP hustle, one, I'm a fan of alliteration. The way it sounds is kind of smooth to me. I like the HOTEP hustle. But also, the reason why I use this term is that I need you to understand what is going on in your community, right? You have to understand, what is the HOTEP hustle? The HOTEP hustle is a form of affinity fraud, okay? This is what I'm giving you guys tonight. I use the term HOTEP hustle to explain a particular form of affinity fraud that happens in our community. So what is affinity fraud? Affinity fraud, as defined by the SEC, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, they state that affinity fraud is when fraudsters who carry out affinity scams frequently are or pretend to be members of the group they are trying to defraud. All right? The group could be a religious group, such as a particular denomination or church, or an ethnic group, or immigrant community. It could be a racial minority. It could be members of a particular workforce. Even members of the military have been targets of these frauds. Fraudsters target any group they think they can convince to trust them with the group members' hard-earned savings. All right, so what is the HOTEP hustle then? As I said before, the HOTEP hustle is a form of affinity fraud. All right? The HOTEP hustle is when fraudsters who carry out affinity scams frequently are members of or pretend to be, they're either members or they pretend to be members of the African American conscious community. All right. Once again, they are either members of it or they pretend to be members of it. That's why it's the HOTEP hustle. The HOTEP hustle targets members of the conscious community to trust them with their group's hard-earned savings. This is my definition. I'm explaining it to you. And for those of you who are unaware, who are living under a rock, the conscious community is a movement. It's like a lifestyle within the Black community of different pro-Black, Pan-Africanism, organizations loosely associated with each other who carved out a type of culture that is pro-Black, striving to better the African American community. Okay? The problem is, when it comes to the HOTEP hustle, there are financial predators who look at the conscious community and its members as a target for affinity fraud. Why? The reason why is affinity fraud is extremely effective. All right, let's break this down. Affinity fraud is effective because you are being scammed by someone you trust. You trust them because they're a part of your community, or you believe they are a part of your community. So let's give financial scammers within affinity fraud, the HOTEP hustle. Let me give you an example. See, for a person to be considered a financial professional, right? A financial professional, there's someone who went to school, studied it. They had to get licensed or certified. They have certain ethical obligations to uphold. And if they do scam you or try to take advantage of you, you actually have recourse to actually report them to some sort of governing body, right? To find some remedy so that you can maybe get your money back, or at least get them barred from being able to scam someone else with the credential that they hold, right? The reason why the HOTEP hustle or any affinity fraud is effective is when you have someone who you think is a part of your group, you lower your standards for whatever they claim they're expert in. Think about this for a second. If a man comes to you claiming that he has the cure for cancer, if you don't identify with this person, if they are outside of your community, you're probably going to ask him a lot of questions. One, are you a doctor? Have you been doing research? Who's done any type of study to see the effectiveness of your so-called cure to cancer? You would probably be skeptical of someone that you have no relationship with, someone that shows you absolutely no credentials to be able to do the things that they say they can do. You would be skeptical. The reason why affinity fraud is so effective is that for whatever reason, when someone is a part of our clique, a part of our community, we just drop all the standards that we have for people outside, and we just accept it because we want to believe that this person can do the things that they say they can do. That's the problem. Now, in the real world, if someone came to you claiming to be a financial expert, there's common types of financial experts, right? The CFP board, they explain the different types of the most common financial experts out there. You got financial advisors, you got CPAs, you got estate planning attorneys. These are the professionals that you turn to when you have particular needs financially. Maybe you need a tax return prepared, or maybe you're trying to learn how to invest, or maybe you need a will, right? Maybe you need a trust, right? Well, these are the normal professionals that you go to get these things done, to ask them questions. Each one of these type of professionals have gone through a long list of tests and certifications and experience. I mean, you have to go through years of study and practice to be able to have one of these titles. But when it comes to affinity fraud, you don't need any of this stuff. None whatsoever. The HOTEP hustle allows you to sidestep all of the education. It allows you to sidestep all of the tests, the board exams, all of that stuff, the ethical requirements, all of those things. The HOTEP hustle allows you to electric slide around all the regular requirements, and you get directly to the people and claim you're an expert. So tonight I'm asking you guys the question, and I'm gonna put the number up here in a second. I'm gonna let you guys call in, but I'm asking you the question: who is Brother Polight? Who is this man? This guy who's being interviewed by DJ Vlad, right? Not once, but multiple times. He's being interviewed by DJ Vlad. He also was interviewed by the Breakfast Club. Who is he? Where did he go to school? What license does he have? What certification does he have? How is he able to teach the things that he claims he can teach you? If he wasn't in the conscious community, if he wasn't so-called pro-black, you would be asking the same questions. But because you think he's one of you, it's okay. We'll get to it. He's interviewed by Hollywood Unlocked. Now, these are all huge platforms in the black community. Not only that, he's doing collabs with another guy who's been featured on this channel. He's doing collabs with Jay Morrison. I have no idea what these two brothers getting together is going to teach, but I can tell you right now, most likely, neither of them have the education, the experience, the license, or the certification to teach you any of the things that they sell courses in. That is absolutely my opinion, based on all of the relevant information that they put out themselves online. But okay, we're not done yet. This is a man that also gets to pal around with celebrities. Once again, this is the HOTEP hustle. This is how you can get some kind of professional credibility in the hip-hop black community. It's not go to school. It's not become a professional. It's not, all of the traditional things that our parents, maybe our grandparents would look at as qualifications. It's get on very big podcasts and radio shows. Be seen with celebrities. If you do these things, you would be considered a financial influencer, and you can teach courses like Brother Polight. Let's look at some of the stuff that this guy teaches. Let's be clear here. He's teaching people about the stock market. My question is, how? What knowledge, what education does this guy, and then look at the flyer. Just look, like, is this? Just be honest with yourself. Is this the type of flyer that would attract you as someone who wants to learn about the stock market? Not just learn how to master the stock market from this guy. This is the best we can do in financial education. This guy. Not done. Not done. He's also going to teach you about real estate, apparently. He's going to teach you about real estate. Look at this picture. Why do I even have to do this show? Look at the picture. It's a flyer of a grown man. Let's be clear. He's not a child. He's a grown man. This is a picture of a grown man photoshopped sitting on top of stacks of money. This is one of the worst type of SoundCloud rapper mixtape cover art. Okay? It's absolutely ridiculous for SoundCloud rappers. But for someone who's, I guess, some sort of financial expert, it's even worse. Who would ever take this guy serious? Just be honest. Who would take this guy serious? He's not done. Not only is he can teach you about the stock market, he's teaching you about real estate. Now he's also going to teach you how to deal with foreclosure, right? How to avoid foreclosure from Brother Polight. Is he a real estate attorney? Is he even a real estate agent? How can this man, all right, let me calm down. I'm gonna lose my voice. Let me calm down. Let's just be honest with each other. What is it about this guy would ever make you believe he can speak intelligently about the foreclosure process in the United States? He did not go to law school. He probably isn't even a licensed real estate agent. There's nothing this man can teach you about the foreclosure process that isn't easily found with an online search. I'm betting most of the information he provides you is information that he found by simply doing a Google search. But you can pay him. How much is this course? How much is this course? What is he selling this for? Oh, that's not it. Look, most of them look like $99 or something like that. Yeah. You can pay him $100 and he'll teach you something that he learned online. But that's not it. Not only is he an expert in real estate, an expert in foreclosure processes, the stock market, apparently he can also teach you about cryptocurrency. Like, come on, man. You cannot be an expert in all of these things. That's just not how this works. There's no way he's an expert in all of these things. And I have yet to this day seen anything that would give him any type of credibility in any of the subjects that he sells to you. He is selling courses and information about topics that he is in no way, shape, or form qualified to do based on the information that he presents about himself. So, it is not surprising that you can easily go online and find many people who claim that they are financial victims of this guy. There are many people who claim that Michael Nowak Jr., aka Brother Polight, And that's another red flag. We talked about this before. If you don't know the person's government name, do not send them money to help you invest. Come on, people. It's 2023. If you are sending people who you only know from social media, and you're sending them money to help you invest or do this and do that, and all you have is an alias, Brother Polight is what he goes by. Like, that's his name. He's a grown man. His name is Michael Nowak Jr., apparently. That's a decent sounding name. That doesn't sound weird to me. Why not go by Michael Nowak Jr.? He's Brother Polight. But yeah, if they don't use their real name, there's a problem there. But back to my main point. Back to my main point. There are many, many, many people who claim that they are financial victims of this man. Not hundreds of dollars, not thousands of dollars, not tens of thousands of dollars. It's reported hundreds of thousands of dollars have been funneled from victims, people who are self-identified members of the conscious community, claim to be victims of Michael Nowak Jr., aka Brother Polight, claim to be victims of his, and I'm not surprised, because there's a reason why a person avoids the actual real process of becoming a professional. See, if I scam you, right? If I scam you in the capacity of being a certified financial planner, you can report me to the CFP board. You can put me in a situation where maybe we're in a room and there's arbitration. And because I want to keep my license, I want to stay a CFP, I'm going to sit at a negotiating table with you and try to pay back the money that I so-called scammed you. You get that with real professionals, a lawyer, an accountant, a financial advisor. We have to do that, or we're just automatically going to lose our license and our ability to do our profession. What happens if a person like Brother Polight scams you? What do? You go on Instagram and start making mean comments on their posts? All they have to do is block you. That's it. They're going to block you, and no one else will see your post. You're just yelling in a dark room by yourself at that point. No one sees your post. You have no real recourse. If you go online and look at his BBB rating, I believe he has an F BBB rating. He doesn't care. Because most of the people in the Black community, the conscious community, who would see him as someone that they would want to do business with, they're not even going to check with the BBB. And even if they did check with the BBB, they're just going to say it's the white man. The white man's hating on our brother. And they won't actually do the research. If you simply Google the man, search on YouTube, you will find so many red flags of why you would never do business with him. There should be no victims. Here, I want to show you guys one thing. I want to show you something that was an easily exposed grift that it appears this guy was running. Let's take a look at this. Easily exposed grift. Check this out.
With King right here, we had our real estate company, our development company, making it happen.
All right, so he's clearly saying that he has a real estate company, a development company. He's clearly saying this. All right, let's run it back.
We up in here. We're in Columbus, Ohio. And with King right here, we had our real estate company, our development company, making it happen. So right now we're working on a 26 unit project here in Columbus, Ohio. But the very unique thing about it is we're using cargo bins to build them. Okay, I already employed 3 people. We got the brother who's an engineer on deck from North Carolina, I believe. Charlotte. So keep this in mind. We're providing the jobs in real time because we got a whole bunch of projects. We're actually on the site right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm invested into it, but I said I want to be part of it, hands-on, just to show you what it is, because seeing is knowing.
It's basically a prefab 17,000 square foot structure.
Typically, to frame out a structure that large, you are looking at over 3 months. What you see here was done in 5 days.
And developer Derek Pryor says that's a huge savings in construction costs. This project was the dream of Michelle Reynolds, founder of Nothing Into Something Real Estate, a nonprofit housing organization that until now had focused on old blighted homes. But Reynolds says turning shipping containers into apartments fits with the organization's Nothing Into Something mission.
Same way, taking houses that are nothing and turning them into something and coupling with people who really need a chance and an opportunity to be able to afford housing.
All right, so clearly, you see the video of Michael Nowak Jr., aka Brother Polight. He is on the construction site claiming that he's the developer of this project, claiming that he's the one responsible for this. He's doing all of this, that he invested in the project. Then you can easily just Google. I know some of y'all don't like Google. You say DuckDuckGo, whatever search engine you using. I don't care if you're using Bing. It doesn't matter. Just do an internet search on this stuff before you give anyone any money. You can clearly see he's not the developer. This man probably has never developed any real estate ever. He has no experience or education in the field. Of course, it makes no sense for him to have a project like that. But as you clearly saw, the real people who were on the news who were actually responsible for the project. So apparently, the people who were actually responsible for the project, they caught wind that Brother Polight was promoting as if he was responsible for the project. All right, here we go. Let me show you guys the Facebook post that Derek Pryor, the person in the news report who's actually the developer of the project, this is what he says. Brother Polight is a liar and fraud. He is in no way associated with the Cargo Miniums project in any capacity. He seems to be very clear. He's not wavering. He's not making it sound like, oh, well, yeah, he's in it, but he's just not the developer. No. Brother Polight is a liar and fraud. He is in no way associated with the Cargo Miniums project in any capacity. Here we go. Any and all of his followers and anyone who saw and or shared either of those 2 videos, this person has nothing, I repeat, nothing to do with Cargo Miniums. Now, here's the part that I want you guys to focus in on. That was years ago. Years ago. That didn't just recently happen. That was years ago. But yet, he was still able to navigate through the hip-hop Black community. He was able to get interviewed by all of these top Black so-called platforms. He's able to work very closely with huge celebrities. Floyd Mayweather. He's taken pictures with top A-list celebrities. Years after this whole thing blew up. And many of you are here tonight. You're not here about any of the things that I said so far. That's the crazy part. All of the stuff, the allegations of grifting, all of that stuff, that's not why you're here. You're here for another reason. Let me show you why you guys are here.
Was romantically linked to. According to the police report, Nowak, a motivational speaker and author who... This is the mugshot of 37-year-old Michael Nowak Jr., also known as Brother Polight, to his more than 300,000 Instagram followers. Miami Beach police arrested Nowak this week for alleged sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl in a hotel room in February. Police say the alleged victim was the daughter of a woman he was romantically linked to. According to the police report, Nowak, a motivational speaker and author who lives in L.A., asked the woman if he could take her daughter to an after-party at a club in Miami. The report states Nowak took the teen to his hotel after seeing that the club was closed. Police say the suspect gave the teen alcohol and started dancing and touching the teen inappropriately, groping her breast, inner thighs, and buttocks. It goes on to say Nowak tried to force the teen to perform oral sex on him. The teen allegedly passed out and woke up to Nowak trying to make her throw up. The report states that the girl's mother found her intoxicated and possibly on drugs, with severe swelling on her mouth and lips. It later states Nowak told the mother not to call police because it would ruin his career. Nowak was served with a DNA warrant in June and surrendered to police on Monday.
So that's why you're here tonight. And the phone lines are open. If you want to give me a call, 515-602-9778. That's 515-602-9778. We got to talk about this HOTEP hustle. But that is why most of you are here tonight. Now, that news report came out about 2 years ago, it feels like now. Because of COVID-19 and all of that stuff, clearly a lot of court cases have been pushed back, postponed, all of this stuff. But today, earlier this morning, there was an update in the case. And I want to talk about that part tonight too. But ever since this came out, a lot of the people who were standing next to Brother Polight, they started to back away. It wasn't the many allegations of scamming. That didn't do it. It wasn't the many victims who came forward and claimed that this man took hundreds of thousands of dollars from them. That wasn't enough to make hip hop and black culture and some of the people who you subscribe to, some of the people who you follow on Instagram, you watch them on TV. That wasn't enough to make them back away. But this story was enough to make them say, hey, we're going to back up. And I understand why, I get it. But here's the problem and the issue that I have with all of you who decided to back away from Brother Polight when this story came out. The problem that I have is if you would have just Googled the man's name, this would not have been a surprise to you. This man is a self-proclaimed follower of Dr. Malachi Z. York. And if you don't know who that is, all right, got another video for you. Here we go.
Right here.
In the 1990s, York and his followers bought 480 acres of land in rural Putnam County, 70 miles southeast of Atlanta. They built pyramids and obelisks. At its peak, the property housed 500 followers, including families with children.
When no one tells us what to do but us.
I mean, we called it a cult. That's what we always called it.
Sheriff Howard Sills led the investigation that put the man he knew as Dwight York in prison in 2002. York is serving a 135-year sentence for child molestation and racketeering.
You know, almost all of these cults have a disastrous end to them in some way. Sometimes, you know, whether it's Jim Jones, mass suicide, or whether it's York molesting a bunch of children.
Although York went to prison, his followers remain.
All right. So what you just saw was a news report covering Dr. Malachi Z. York. Dr. Malachi Z. York, and once again, he's not a doctor. That's not his real name. I think his name is like Dwight something. Once again, red flag. All of these people with these fake rapper names, like, we got to have some standards, okay? We got to have some standards. But Malachi, I can't even call him doctor. I feel dirty calling the man doctor. Malachi Z. York, another guy using a fake name. This man has probably the biggest child molestation case in the history of North America. The man is currently in, I believe, super max prison. He's been there since the early 2000s. It's 2023 right now. Been there since the early 2000s. Brother Polight is a follower of his. Now, I know what you're going to say. Well, JT, maybe he was unaware of the allegations of Malachi Z. York. And then after finding out what happened, he decided he was going to step away from his old leader. Anyone can get swept up into a cult, but after they see what happens after their leader is sentenced to over 100 years for being a child predator, you got to give them some grace, JT. They're going to step away. All right, we're not done. We are not done. What I'm about to show you is a video of Brother Polight from many years ago that anyone of these so-called celebrities, of these podcasts, radio shows, all of that, anyone could have easily found this online. I'm going to show you this video of him in his response to Malachi Z. York and what he did to children. Here we go.
When you see, I'm speaking on behalf of the children or the people that had to testify.
Let's say he molested 1,000 children. Factually.
Okay.
Genetic evidence and everything. Things that we don't deny scientifically. We say, wow, okay, true. If someone was to ask me, would you still worship him as your Most High, acknowledge him as your Most High God? I would have to.
Let's run that back one more time for all the slow kids in the back who didn't quite catch that. One more time. This man is referring to child predators and his reaction to a child predator and what he would do even if he was presented 100% proof of the person being a child predator. This is his reaction. This is what he says he would do, even if without a doubt he knew a man was a child predator.
People that had to testify.
Let's say he molested 1,000 children. Factually.
Okay.
Genetic evidence and everything. Things that we don't deny scientifically. We say, wow, okay, true. If someone was to ask me, would you still worship him as your Most High, acknowledge him as your Most High God? I would have to.
And there we have it, people. There it is. That's the problem that we have to have with our so-called community. It's a hustle. They know how to get to you. All they have to do is claim that they're woke, claim that they are for the community, claim that they have some knowledge that they want to bring to you to free you, even though they have absolutely no qualifications of this so-called knowledge, even though they repeatedly, time after time after time, fail at demonstrating the success of this so-called knowledge, even though they have a long trail of people who claim that they are victims of this person. We ignore it. It wasn't until the accusations of being a child predator did many of you decide, okay, now I'm going to step away from the brother. Problem is, there's still some of you right now who are still mentally confused. You don't know what to do. You still want to support the guy. How do I know? Because after this video is done, after this live stream, I am going to wake up tomorrow to comments in this video talking about how I'm the hater. I'm the cornball. I'm the government agent. There's going to be, listen, I know you by now. I've been on YouTube for about 2 years now. I know you. You right now, the person who's looking at their phone and you're typing your comment about how I'm a hater and how Brother Polight is bringing the light to the people and waking us up to a new reality. You're typing that right now. Stop. Wake up. Get out of this weird hypnosis that this grifter has on you. Stop. Clearly, there's issues that you don't want to address. I get it. I got it. But with all of this, you still support him. I don't know what to say. Listen, I'm about to go to the phone lines. I want to give a shout out to everyone who did a super chat. Give me a call, 515-602-9778. That's 515-602-9778. I want to give a shout out to Clarence Overstreet in the building. Thank you so much. Yeah, standards nowadays, standards equal hate. If you have standards, if you have some requirements on the people who you deal with professionally, the people who you deal with romantically, whoever it is, institutions, if you have standards, you're a hater. Thank you so much, Clarence, for pointing that out. We got Kevin D. Jones in the building. Thank you. He says, blue fight. Thank you, brother. Even though now they're going to claim I'm in the boule and I'm a hater and I'm a gatekeeper, because of that, it is what it is. I don't mind. I don't mind. The person who's typing that I'm a hater, I'm in the boule, just look around yourself right now and recognize that you're probably in your mother's basement right now. Not even on your own internet. You're still in the Wi-Fi from the other apartment. Okay, so just calm down. Take a deep breath and calm down. All right, next one, we got SMY in the building. Thank you so much. Says first time catching a live. Love the Pocket Watcher. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. We got Jacob in the building, new member. Thank you, Jacob. Jacob's not new to the channel, but it shows as a new member. Thank you so much, Jacob. Big time supporter. All right, here we go. We got AQ Inspirational Champion says he belongs under the jail. Clearly, any rational person. But the issue I have is based on all of the other stuff that happened long before this case, there should have been some kind of shaming and banishment of this guy in the community. Why does it have to get to this point, right? Why do we have to get here? Based purely on what he said in that video when he had the baby afro. Based on that happened years and years ago. Based on that alone, he should have been banished, canceled from the community. We allowed him time to continue all the way up to this point. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. All right, here we go. We get almost there. We're going to get to the phone lines. We got S. Wright in the building. Thank you so much. No comment, just showing love. Thank you so much. JT Coin Rings in the building says, thanks for your platform respect. I appreciate it, JT Coin Rings. And we also have Carl Scott's in the building with the super sticker. All right, so here we go. Give me a call. We're going to go through these calls. I want to hear what you guys think. Give me a call, 9778. That's 515-602-9778. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to get these phone lines together. I'll be right back, and we'll go straight to the phones.
Hey, Pocket Watchers, are you looking for real financial advice? Thornton Advisor Group is here to help. Jayson Thornton, certified financial planner, specializes in tax and wealth planning. Are you living paycheck to paycheck with no retirement plan? Do you need help with the IRS? Book your consultation with Thornton Advisor Group to get a financial plan, budgeting, savings, debt management, tax planning, investing, and retirement, even IRS debt settlements. Stop trying to run the play. Get the advice you need to live your best life from a certified financial planner. Book your consultation appointment today. Go to www.thorntonadvisor.com.
You'll have some. You'll have some at by noon, won't you? Give me some regular.
George, you got 1 second? Just want to ask you a question. We're just doing a tax I'm collecting overdue bills for the city. You notice the number of councilmen haven't paid their water or sewer bills yet.
Cash flow problem.
Is that why you haven't paid yours?
I didn't know it wasn't paid, but that's...
Well, it's about a year since you paid a water or sewer bill. For instance, it's almost $500.
It's a long way from $2,000 I would at one time.
So you say you are paying off your bill?
No, I didn't say that.
But it says here you haven't paid your bill in a year.
That's what you said. I'm not aware of that. No big problem, you know. The city ain't gonna go bankrupt.
Well, don't you think it's a bad example to set?
No, I do not. I don't have the money.
You don't have money to pay a $400 water bill?
I do not have the money, okay? Did you hear me?
Well, in a time of austerity, don't you think it's...
How much you owe?
We owe $440.
I do not have the money.
You say you don't have money to pay your bill.
Did you hear me?
But your water's still on, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, don't you think your water should be turned off if you're not paying your bill?
No, it should not be. You know, one of these days you're gonna corner me and I'm gonna kick your ass. Okay? And one of these days you're gonna corner me and I'm gonna kick your ass.
Well, don't you think that's a legitimate question, George? I mean, you're not the only councilman. You're not the only councilman.
Wait a minute. I gave you a legitimate answer. You asked me about my water bill. What did I tell you?
You said you didn't have the money. But your water's still on, isn't it?
Now, that was my fucking answer to you.
But I don't think everybody has that luxury of having their water
tough shit. Okay, now, one of these days you're going to corner me and I'm going to kick your ass. Now, keep fucking with me, okay? Now, I'm telling you, keep fucking with me.
You're not the only one, George.
I'm not talking about anybody else but you. Now, I gave you a goddamn answer.
And I asked you a follow-up question.
I gave you a fucking answer. Now, one of these days, I'm going to kick your fucking ass. And it might be this goddamn one. Now, you got your fucking answer. Now, get out of my goddamn face.
Thank you. Okay.
I ain't bullshitting with you. Now, I'll take that fucking camera and wrap it around your goddamn head. Now, one of these days, you're going to grab me with the wrong fucking minute. Now, I gave you my fucking answer, okay?
Okay.
We got to meet. Now, I ain't bullshitting with you. We got to meet. Now, you scared him, but I'll kick your goddamn ass, boy. I ain't bullshitting with you. We got to meet. Son of a bitch. Now, you hang around with me if you want. Now, you think I'm bullshitting with you.
Listen, that was a classic moment in pocket watching history. I'm sorry. Classic moment in pocket watching history. All right, here we go. Going straight to the phone lines. We got a caller from the 336 area code. So here we go. Caller from the 336 area code. You are live on the air with Pocket Watching with JT. What's going on?
What's up, JT? I'm calling from France.
From France? What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on? My name is Shakan Kemet. People know me from my channel, Ma'a Forever. I've played some of your excerpts. I like the way you did it with the Billy Carson dude when you had the cease and desist. And you went through it and you said, okay, I'm accused of that. Here is the clip. Here's what he did. He lied about this. He changed his name. So I maintained. And I was like, man, that's thorough, man.
Listen, I collect cease and desist letters over here with Pocket Watching with JT. Not because I'm smarter than these people, not because, I'm special. is only because most of these guys who send out cease and desist letters, they're simply bullies, right? When Earn Your Leisure sent me a cease and desist, they were just trying to be bullies. They had a much bigger platform, still do have a much bigger platform than me, and they just figured, send him a letter, threaten that we're going to sue him for everything that he has. He'll take down the video. Video's still up. Billy Carson, same thing. And recently, a guy named Rabu Gary thought that he was going to punk me into taking a video down by claiming he has a team. He has a legal team that's going to, make me, take the video down. To this day, this guy is still sending me personal messages begging me to take the video down. What happened to your lawyers, Mr. Gary? You still asking me personally. So if you're a small channel, this is a big shout out to all the small channels out there. I still consider myself a small channel. If you are telling the truth, if you are giving your opinion, don't allow these bigger platforms to try to punk you. Even Brother Polight, when people started reporting on this story, he started claiming that he was going to sue people for defamation. It's all smoke and mirrors.
I remember
They're
that.
not going to do anything, period. But back to you, my brother. What's going on?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Gary, because there's a dude called Frank Gary, better known as Sanetta. He made 5 copyright claims against me. Well, 3 personally and 2 by his so-called girlfriend. So, I had to appeal, you know what I'm saying? And that's how they get down, you know what I'm saying? They try to flag you down because if people don't know, Frank Gary, Sanetta, he's been disrespecting me, calling me names, getting people to attack me. He even talks smack about my 3-year-old daughter, you know what I'm saying? But, I don't care about this guy. He doesn't, he ain't going to bully me because he knew, I think you know when he said, don't let me do it, baby, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want me to tell the people why the mother left you and all that? So he was aware of the dude's behavior. You know what I'm saying? But he's still capping for him. He said he wants.
Okay. Yeah, man, listen. Most people who do that threat about, I'm gonna make you take the video down, this, that, other, man. All you gotta do, if what we're doing is lying, right? If we're lying and we're hating, you don't have to force us to take the video down. Just expose us for the so-called liars that we are. That's all you gotta do. Just present the real information and we'll look clownish. The reason why they want the videos down is because they cannot defeat the argument. That's it. If they could defeat the argument, they would be rubbing their hands like Birdman. I'd be like, yeah, keep the video up. Let me expose how dumb you are. So it is what it is. But your overall perception of what's going on with Michael Nowak Jr. and Brother Polight, and really, what is the responsibility of the community that we really was shielding him for years, not knowing what he was doing? Or we should have had some idea what he was doing based on the interview that he did decades ago.
You're talking about the one with the victim of York. Well, that one, many people did not know that one. You see, Polight was not really popping. That was its early stages. But the people who kind of had a shield over Polight, the people who really promoted him, even though he was coming, that's the House of Cautious Mess. That's Sanetta, Garfield Reed, you know what I'm saying, Butler, Reggie Mabry, is those cats, you know what I'm saying. They've been protecting him for a long time, knowing that he was doing all sorts of scamming. Even Garfield Reed, there's the Star Report, who said that he wanted to, sue Garfield Reed because he scammed some people that he knew. But then Sanetta begged him not to do it. And you know what's worse, my brother JT? I have Sanetta on tape. He said publicly that he will be putting up report of molestation in Harlem, in the Bronx, some fresh ones. That's what he said. So he's still protecting some other molesters. The House of Cautious Mess, there's the highest UPK guy who was found guilty of child molestation, and they talked about that publicly, but they still send him money. There's another dude, I would call him TMH, who was found guilty of rape, but he did his time. He did his time for that. So there's Nature Boy who said that he lets his son play with his penis after he has sex, that he has sex in front of his kid while the mother is breastfeeding, and Sanetta said he wants to interview him. Actually, Sanetta said he wants to interview Polight. Like he's some sort of celebrity or something like that. You know what I'm saying? He just wants the views. He was bragging when he thought that the live stream was ended. He was bragging that there was 4,000 people watching. That's how sick the dude is. But I ain't gonna lie, brother. I must admit, I've been following, Kemet for a long time. I know the Medometer. I actually give Medometer classes, and when I see your title and I see the HOTEP, I would have wished you wouldn't have put that.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie about that. I would have wished you would have put
listen.
that,
I know the argument because I know it. They say don't say HOTEP hustle because you're making HOTEP look bad. HOTEP doesn't have anything to do with this. But in a sense, the point that I'm making here is that these hustlers are cloaking themselves in the community that you claim. It's affinity fraud. So they're cloaking themselves in it. That should push more people. Obviously, you're trying, but that should push more people to say, we got to identify these clowns. And as a conscious community, we have to publicly shame and cancel these guys so that they no longer associate themselves with our movement. But brother, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it. I know most people, they're like, don't associate HOTEP with hustle, but that's what they're doing. That's how they were able to hustle, because they cloaked themselves in the language, in the outfits of the conscious community. All right, here we go. Got a caller from the 229 area code. Caller from 229. You are live on the air with Pocket Watching with JT. What's going on?
Hey, JT, it's Trixie.
Here we go. Listen, before you say anything, I want to be clear. Who we have on the phone right now is someone, I love that channel. From every now and again, I will be over there. If you go to my community page right now, you will see a link to this person's channel. As I state in that post, it's some of the best anti-scammer conversations on YouTube. So please subscribe to Triple C. Treehouse, right? Tripsy's Treehouse, is it, right?
Tripsy's Treehouse, yes, JT.
You got to subscribe. But here we go. I want to hear from you because she is an expert on this subject matter. Please take the floor.
Okay, so to start off with any misconceptions about that child that he's currently going to court for, he didn't take her to a club. He took her from one hotel and he wasn't supposed to leave with her. He was supposed to take her downstairs to the dining area. Told the child, oh, they all gone to the club, let's go. Mm-hmm. They get there and the club is closed, and that's where he took her to hotel number 2 and the incident went down. So it's contributing to a delinquency of a minor. It's not because she was at a club or she was drinking. It's because he slipped her something, whether it was alcohol or something in her drink between those two destinations. Mm-hmm. We don't know. September 6th is when he has to turn himself in, and we will know what the contents of the plea deal in. If anybody tells you that they know what he's going to get for fact and certain, they're lying to you until September 6th.
Okay.
Until further notice.
So, okay.
But do you have any questions?
Yeah, I got many questions. So here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I mean, you've been covering this for years. How could a person like Brother Polight, how could he navigate through the Black community? He's been on platforms that many people would kill to be on the Breakfast Club at the height of the Breakfast Club, to be interviewed by DJ Vlad, to be on Hollywood Unlocked. Even some will say to do a collab with Jay Morrison at the time when Jay Morrison, I guess, was popping, right? To be with Floyd Mayweather. Like, he looks like he has a real relationship with Floyd Mayweather.
I can tell you why Floyd Mayweather fuck with Polight.
Uh-huh.
Remember the what was it, Armani or Versace, the blackface incident with the sweater that looked like the blackface?
Right.
And they was going at Floyd talking about why you still wearing whatever it was, and they doing this. Polight is the one that wrote his statement. How he got in contact with him, we don't know for sure, but we do know that he hangs out with valets a lot, and valets park expensive cars, and famous people and rich people drive expensive cars. So you can do the math. And then he also uses some of that scam money to get get into places where you would see celebrities, like courtside tickets to a basketball game, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm. All
So
right.
he started off with Ron Artest. The rumor is he got a good chunk of change from Ron, but if you don't know him as Ron Artest, you know him as Meta World Peace. But he never came out and spoke on it except for like once.
And what did he
then
say?
You go forward.
What did Ron Artest say?
Speculation is he didn't say much, just that he wasn't fucking. You know, it's always the same thing with them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't want to send a black man to jail and why they spook. But if he running around here robbing, stealing, and robbing children of their innocence, he needs to be in jail no matter what color he is at the end of the day. That was the same thing Derek Price. Oh, I'm not going to press charges on him because I don't want to see another brother in jail.
But they allow when they let him off the hook, right? In my view, when they let a guy like him off the hook, all it does is allow the scammer, the grifter, to continue to make new victims.
Yep, and the longer they go, the more confident they get, which draws new people in. Now, JT, I got a question. Ever since this started, I've been wanting to ask you, what do you think of the credit restoration microwave?
You know, sometimes when it comes to scammers, I feel as if they just test things. Like, I think like a scammer, they will say something so outrageous just to see if their audience will still follow it and still believe. The credit restoration microwave idea is so buffoonish on his face that I think that it was probably a joke in his mind. And then he just went with it because people actually believe that he could use a microwave to improve your credit score. Like,
He said he puts your credit in the microwave and he makes it better.
That had to be like a joke to him. And then when his followers believed it, he was like, yeah.
Regular calculator. He held up a regular calculator and said it was a mortgage calculator. I about broke my laptop that day. I was just, no. You know, it's so ridiculous to us, but people actually believe this stuff. Cyber defamation litigation. It's not real. Everybody was snatching videos down. Oh, he said he go get the folks. He said he got lawyers. He gonna charge us with cyber defamation litigation. And I'm over here. It's not real. What are the imaginary police gonna come and get you?
The problem with guys like that, and I'm gonna offend some people when I say this, but it's okay. Most of you are adults, so if you get offended, just take it on the chin. People like Polight, they sound smart to dumb people.
Yeah.
Polight,
Melissa said he's verbal in a room full of hamsters.
Polight within himself, he is not articulate. He's not someone who can actually put together and string together a logical storyline that is believable. He's just overly confident, and he just like really put on the doe eyes and make it seem like, come on, guys. But anyone who would just take a moment to listen to what he's saying, the man is an imbecile. Like he's not very smart sounding. He's not someone that seems like he has any type of high level knowledge in anything. He makes statements
that in the 9th or the 10th grade.
Yeah, and I think he wrote like over 90 books. He claims that he wrote over 90 books. Like, let's be for real. Let's be honest. Come on. He seems like he's probably barely literate. To write 90 books when you seem to be barely literate doesn't make sense. But there's a large population of people. Yeah, there's a large population of people who identify with the character he plays. And because they identify with the character that Polight plays, they ignore all the red flags. That's in my view. Now listen, can you hold on for a little bit. I want to bring up other callers, but I want to keep you
Go
on.
ahead.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Just let me know when I call back because it's like real low on the phone.
Got you. Just that I'm gonna notice your number and I'll bring you back.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Great.
All right, here we go. We got more callers. We're gonna get to all of you guys. I got a caller from the 720 area code. Caller from 720. You're live on the air with Pocket Watching with JT. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, JT?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right, bet. So, I think he's able to pull people in just from his, it's just con game.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it. It's just straight up con game. He tells people tall tales, things that he can't really verify, but they identify with, and then they break themselves to him. But, what I wanted to say is I love your content, and I've been listening for a while now, and I learned about you through Sinful, ironically.
Appreciate it.
What I wanted to say was that your mods, man, they're going so hard in the chat. Like, you might not even say anything crazy, and they're on you, and they keep turning people out. And I just want to make sure I'm respecting the show because I'm not trying to, you know what I mean?
Right.
I appreciate it, and I want to be able to soak up and laugh with y'all and do, chop it up. But at the same time, it's like, the mods, they gotta chill, you gotta talk to them.
All right, well, I haven't seen anything, but listen,
turned out for nothing.
Moderators.
But anyway, that's all I was gonna say. Look, I appreciate the show. I think that people are just too gullible in this age. It's amazing. We have so much information, but no common sense, and people don't have the wherewithal to just do basic due diligence. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to call and say I support you. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate the show. And peace from Colorado.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And shout out to all my moderators. I appreciate you guys because a lot of times I can't even see everything that's going on. But tonight, let's give them a little room to play around and have fun. As long as they're not being disrespectful, cussing people out and stuff like that. Let them have their fun. But, still, I thank you to each and every one of you moderators. I appreciate it. Keep up the good work. All right, here we go. Got a caller from, we got two callers from 510. So I don't want y'all to get confused. I got a caller from 5106. Your number is 510, then 6. You are live on the air with Pocket Watching with JT. What's going on?
What's going on, JT?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
How you doing? I was just sitting here thinking that I don't want people to really trip off of how these kind of things happen. It happens in every community.
Mm-hmm.
There's shysters in every community. But I don't understand how so many people go for this stuff because I've been knowing about Brother Polight and people like that for years, and I never went for it. It just, from day one, these people don't even sound credible at all. But for some reason, people think they do. And even when they get caught doing something illegal, that part I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the allegiance to these people who are clearly being exposed, but still they just have all this popularity and are able to get away with conning so many people and getting people's money.
Yeah.
It pisses me off.
Yeah, but what I think it is, and listen, bro, thank you so much for calling. I gotta go to the next caller. You got a dog in the background, so I wanted to jump too hard, but thank you so much for calling. You can call back anytime. It is frustrating to see people fall for the same grift or the same scam over and over again. But you also have to look at the people who so-called co-sign a lot of these grifters, right? The average person, they have a busy life. Not that they're doing a whole lot of, high-level stuff, but a busy life in the sense of they got to work. They probably have children that they have to deal with. They have all of this stuff that they have to deal with. When they go to their phone and they go on YouTube, they go on Instagram, they're looking for entertainment. They're not trying to do a whole lot of research. And if they see somebody on The Breakfast Club, Hollywood Unlocked, they see someone palling around with Floyd Mayweather, they're thinking in their head, Floyd Mayweather would not allow himself to be around someone who's a scammer. Floyd Mayweather has the money to do proper research. So I think the person he's with got to be good, right? The Breakfast Club is owned by iHeartMedia, a huge corporation. Clearly, they would do research on a person before they give him a platform to speak in front of millions and millions of people. That's what you think. That is untrue. These people do not do any due diligence themselves. They get caught up in scams. So that's why a lot of people fall for it, because they see people and platforms that they think are credible that are doing the due diligence for them. But they don't. They're just trying to get clicks and views like everybody else. All right, we got a caller from 647. Caller from 647. You are live on the air. What's going on?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Oh, I wanted to ask you if you ever heard of Dr. York, the singer. Some of Dr. York was trying to sing. He was singing Always and Forever, you know, that song by Heatwave. And he tried to parlay, well, I guess, you know, the whole question of using show business and the conscious, doubling those two, you know, you're sick by night and an imam by day. And Polight was a follower, a big admirer of Dr. York, as you pointed out. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I have heard some of Malachi Z. York. I can't call him doctor because he's not doctor. I did hear some of Malachi Z. York's music. Shout out to Chuck Morgan. If you want to do like deep dives into the Nawapians and Brother Polight and Malachi Z. York, search for Chuck Morgan on YouTube. Trip C's as well, but they've got hours and hours of content on these guys. And yes, I heard some music, and you're making a great point. A lot of these grifters, they tie themselves in with pop culture and music. So York in the 70s or the 80s, he's doing like R&B songs to connect with the culture. Nowadays, all you have to do is connect with hip hop artists and you are in the culture. There's a video of Busta Rhymes. Just looks like he's praising Brother Polight. Like praising Brother Polight as if Brother Polight is some type of deity. It's almost like he's giving Brother Polight a Hall of Fame induction. The love and the support that Busta Rhymes is giving Polight. Once again, great point. A lot of these grifters tie themselves into pop culture figures, rappers, professional fighters, R&B groups, singers, whatever, because they know how to speak to an audience. They go straight to an audience. Thank you, brother, for calling in. I appreciate it. I wish I could go longer with the callers, but I'm not going to be up all night. Here we go. Got a caller from the 240 area code. 240. You are live on the air with Pocket Watching with JT. What's going on?
My main thing is you guys are putting a highlight on something that we keep falling for, the banana and the tailpipe situation. I really feel as though, thank you so much. And I was a frequent, I'm a frequent listener, but I was a frequent caller. And then I felt as though I'm on so much on the same page. If you people do your due diligence.
Yes.
I'm telling you, if you do that alone, you will save yourself so much money, frustration, and then you will make your own decision. Mm-hmm. So, and I really hate to say this, but I really have some family members that really do push the same thing that all these grifters do. But the reason that they do that is because it brings them money.
Yeah, okay.
And that's it, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, and listen, I care for them. I love them because they're family members. That's how they make their living. But guess what? I make my living the way I make my living, and I keep my money to myself. And all I can do is smile and, all right, I'll get back at you.
Right.
Just say that. I'll get back at you. And just let it go. I mean, because sometimes common sense.
Right.
And shout out to the common sense, all the people that you have on that let us know.
Real quick, I got to give a shout out to Eli. I wanted to have Eli on tonight.
Thank you.
Eli has been covering this story for a long time as well. A lot of my talking points from the night, the stuff that wasn't financial about Brother Polight, all of that stuff, it came from Eli, it came from Trip Seeds, Chuck Morgan, the people who have been on this story since day one. We got to show them more love, them more support, because they were called haters. They were called self-hating Black people who don't want to see a brother shine or whatever, but they were actively trying to prevent people from becoming victims. If they were better supported, there's a possibility that the 14-year-old victim, wouldn't have become a victim if we would have listened to their voices earlier. So shout outs to them.
Absolutely. And thank you again for making this part of the true culture. I mean, we got both sides.
Right.
So, and I think that you guys present both sides of it. If you want to run the game, run it. And then those of us that's trying to dip away from the game, listen, this is what we need to pay attention to. Because, again, everyone does what they do. That is what it is. But thank you, JT, and all the Pocket Watchers that are listening. Shouting out to everyone that's enjoying their Friday night, enjoying your libations, as I always do on my Fridays. But that's all I have. And that's it. Thank you so much, JT.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it. So listen, we're going to get through these calls, and I'm going to give a shout out to everybody who giving a super chat. I got a caller from the 725 area code, 725. You are live on the air with Pocket Watching with JT. What's going on?
What up, JT? I just want to say, big dog, man, bruh, you are the biggest light that the community do need, because people are so desperate for financial literacy, but they want to get it from the streets and stuff, and they want to hear that hood talk. They don't want to hear that smart talk like you do, you know what I'm saying, and really, you know what I'm saying, putting people on real game, because I took your free course. His course is free.
Thank you.
It helped me out financially so well. I was like, ooh, all right, I'm going to do what he say do. Let me go ahead. And it's worked. I'm like, all right, I'm going to keep him in my pocket when I get bigger money, because I'm going to need his help, with that other stuff. Because but I fell for that for so long. I fell for that stuff. What they be talking about, man. I fell for all the shiny objects and the cars and the Lambos and stuff. And I realized, even just when I moved to Vegas, I realized, I was like, oh, man, all y'all doing is just renting cars and Airbnb and mansions. Y'all don't even own the lease.
It's all fake.
Y'all not even on the deed. Like, bruh. Yeah. Oh, man, I got me a jet. I was like, I met a millionaire real quick. I had met a millionaire out, of course, in Vegas. He was like, yeah, you can rent a yacht. You can rent a Lambo for $1,000 an hour or so.
Yeah.
You could do all that. Like, you could do that. I was like, this how these fools been doing this? Like, hold up. Y'all, man, bro, what is this? I thought I was in the circus, man. Like, bro, hold up. Like, man, but when you and then, man, shout out to Eli too, man.
Big shout out to Eli.
They be calling y'all, man. Yeah, they be calling you Tony the Closer. They be calling y'all Porny and all this stuff. I'm like, no, man. These are the guys that's actually putting people on game for real. The real financial literacy, not none of that extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say, man, big shout out to you. Hey, man, I love your channel. I'll be cracking up. I'm like, man, you getting that on everybody, bro. But,
listen,
my only thing
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Man, I just had to ask you this one thing. Well, how come they don't target nobody else though? Like the oppressors. You know what I'm saying? They target their own community, but then they don't want to be like, oh, we're gonna go in this crowd. We're gonna go in this crowd and do that. You can't do that over there. You can't do that to India person, an
Yeah.
Asian person. You know what I'm saying? But they gonna go to their own community, and it's sad. It's just so sad to see, man. But I appreciate y'all giving the light to everybody, man, because it's hilarious to watch. But it's facts. It's all facts, man. So keep doing what you're doing, JT. Continue all gas, no brakes. Keep getting on their necks, man. Keep getting on them.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for calling. I got to point out a couple things. Number one, big shout out to Eli from What Happened in Common Sense. If you are not subscribed to him, you need to be subscribed. Big shout out to Tony the Closer. Listen, Tony is the reason why a lot of people can get aired out today. Regardless if you say you don't like his tone, you don't like this or whatever, if it was not for Tony, the closer, a lot of the people who have been aired out over the past 2 or 3 years would probably still have this high and mighty stance against people like me and Eli. Tony is the one who opened the door for a lot of this. So shouts out to Tony. And for anyone who supports what I do, a lot of y'all make comments that, listen, I appreciate it. You say, JT, you're doing the Lord's work. Listen, thank you. I appreciate it. But let me be very clear, right? Listen, let me be clear. I did not make this YouTube channel and this podcast to do the Lord's work. I made this channel because I am extremely petty. I am a man who went to school for many years. I am a man who had to get licensed and certified to give financial advice. I calculated how many hours I had to sit down for my licensing and certification exams. 18 hours. Okay? 18 hours I sat in a little room with, in a cubicle with a person walking back and forth with cameras on top of me, making sure I didn't cheat. 18 hours altogether between my licenses and certifications. That's the time I spent to prove myself to the CFP board, to the IRS, to the SEC, that I have the knowledge of how to give proper financial advice. And then I see clowns pop up out of nowhere claiming that they can do what I do. So I didn't do this because I'm doing God's work. I'm extremely petty. And if by a happenstance that I'm helping people, all the better. But I'm nobody's hero. All right, here we go. Got a caller from the 510 area code. 510. You are live on the air with Pocket Watching with JT. What's going on?
Is that for me, JT?
That's for you. Let's hear it.
Hey, JT, how you doing? Another stellar show, my friend. This is Sadiq here.
Thank you.
And I got my, what was that, Pocket Watcher certificate?
You're a PhD in pocket watching, right?
Yes.
That's what I want.
Now, a quick thing about moderation. I know a guy had called in about moderators. And what happens is, this is a professional show with a professional chat. We cannot allow people to curse in the chat.
Yes.
I usually post that before the chat starts. And, calling people out their name and everything else, because when JT puts on a show, it's up to the moderators to keep the show flowing.
Yeah.
Because I've seen other chats where, hey, they cussing up a storm, but then that's that type of show.
Right.
It's allowed. Over here, it's not. And then someone can report JT's stream for, what is that? Violation of terms of service,
That's
and
right.
the stream goes away.
That's right. So listen.
But we do have fun in the chat. It's just don't be disrespectful to the people in the chat, and the callers.
Follow the rules, people.
Right, exactly. Yep. I just thought I'd say that, man. So have a good weekend. Enjoy, everybody, and keep it petty, brother. Keep it petty.
That's all I know. That's all I know. Thank you so much, my brother. All right, here we go. I got to go through some of these super chats. We got still so many callers. Trust me. We're going to get through the callers, but I got to show some love to the people with the super chats and the support. So let me go through here. We got, oh man, it's been a minute since I see Lindell Moore. Lindell Moore has been rocking with the Pocket Watcher for a long time. It's been a minute since I've seen his name. Thank you so much for supporting. The brother says, great work as always. Brother Malcolm X and MLK were not about money. They had plans, not useless rhetoric. The co-signers endorse these fraudsters and take illegal kickbacks. Absolutely, man. Let's call it out for real. A lot of these platforms and celebrities and whatever, they get money. From what I'm told, they get money to support these clowns. They don't really know them. But if you give them a bag, right, in the case of him 500 and $1 million worth of game, if you watch that episode, $1 million worth of game with him 500, you would believe that him 500 and Gilly and Wallow, you would believe that these guys are best friends who've known each other for years, and him 500 has helped countless people financially with the information that he has. But later we find out that him 500 simply gave him $50,000. And apparently, if you give $1 million worth of game, $50,000, they will promote you as if you're Jesus Christ. Like honestly, if they have not took the video down, go watch the episode of $1 million worth of game with him 500 and just witness the promotion, the love of Gilly and Wallow towards him 500. At no time do they ever say, this man is sponsoring this episode. This man paid money to be on this show. They will lead you to believe that him 500 is a financial Jesus Christ who is redeeming us of our financial sins, and he can help you no matter what your problem is. But it was for the check, apparently. All right. So shouts out to Lindell. Thank you so much for the support, my brother. And we also have Gene says, thank God for Tony the Closer. He's the reason why I subscribed to your channel before you had 81,000 subscribers. Keep going. Absolutely. Shouts out to Tony, Eli, the whole crew. And listen, Lindell, I gotta leave you up a little bit longer, brother. You hit me with $50. I'm gonna leave it up. Now, this is not podcast payola, but I'm going to show you some love for showing me some love. Thank you so much. All right, back to the phone calls. We got a caller from the 302 area code. Caller from 302. You're live on the air with Pocket Watching with JT. What's going on?
You gave me the determination and the ambition to do it.
All right, 302. You're live on the air. Can you hear me?
Look like I hit my full body done.
All right, I'm sorry. 302 is having a side conversation. Here we go. We're calling. We're taking on caller from 702. Caller from 702. You're live on the air with Pocket Watching with JT. What's going on? 702. All right, going next. Going to be quick. Here we go. We got caller from 347 area code. Caller from 347. You're live on the air. What's going on?
Yeah, True P, JT. What's going on?
Good, man. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I wanted to definitely give you a shout out, man, on that Billy Carson thing, because I'm just like Triple C and Shaka that just called in. I was a follower of York for like 1995 to 2010. Wow. And me and Polight used to go back at it way back in '99 on MySpace, and he used to go by Pour and Light. It was Light and Water. My bad. I'm sorry. And it was another game. And years later, like after I broke away from the York situation and started finding out about the plagiarisms and stuff like that, and I ran into Chuck them to maybe about 2014, and then I started becoming more acclimated with the case and start talking to some of the victims. We did a lot of debates, myself on Triple C's, Amadi Six Dynasty. We had a lot of debates over the years. I even got a Facebook group that we was debating them from like 2014 to 2021 about York and the herpes and the teachings and stuff like that. But what I wanted to add in is that the reason, some of the main top reasons that these people can get away with it for so long is because a lot of us are misusing forgiveness, and religion played a part in that. And then when you add in the street codes and the Black Power situation, and our Black leaders getting taken down by the alphabet boys and all of that, and then you have that no snitching. See, all that's mixed into the pot, and because of that these codes is what protects the predator. Same way you got predators in your family, people don't go after them. And I remember Polight had said something before this came out with the scamming, and when people was going in and trying to get him caught up, he was like, how y'all overlook the drug dealer in your neighborhood and come after me. Like he was deflected, but he made a good point. And he said, y'all would like to pick and choose who y'all want to go after, and it's easier to get on the computer and go at him than to go after the person that's in your neighborhood. Like, so it's all of that. And so we can place the blame in multifaceted areas, but in the reality, and I said this before on another platform, is that all of those people that you see was on the house's consciousness, all of these cats were doing their own version of hustling in one form or another. And what Polight did, he just mimicked everybody that was doing it before him. And, Sarnetta is just I call him the Frankenstein maker, because he creates monsters and he released them out into the digital universe, and then he protects them. And I wanted to also just, I want to give a special shout out to Crypto Roots, rest in peace. And Polight robbed that man for about 80 grand. And once he passed, and I remember we somebody called on the show when Polight was over there not too long after he robbed that man and tried to clean any history of him. There still was one video that he had on I Am My Brother Polight page with him and Crypto Roots standing there outside of those rented cars in Cali. And somebody asked him, like, politely, "What, you ever heard of Crypto Roots? Why you do that to Crypto Roots?" Polight played dumb and said, "I don't know what you're talking about." Then Sarnetta came in and, we ain't finna talk about this. He did this stuff on multiple occasions before he came out and called him Baby Dr. York. And we, from all of this information, for those who've been watching this and participating in the battles and putting out this information and exposing him, is Sa been doing this. Sa is his platform protects predators the same way Tazaria. We didn't know this stuff, and I didn't know this until Shaka had put this out about Captain Tazaria, who's one of his top Sarnetta's one of his top Hebrew Israelite speakers and debaters. He got a cousin that he is still supporting in jail that got convicted of molesting. And Sarnetta brought that out in a way, was like, well, how can you get mad at me talking? Because he told Sarnetta that I'm not going to come back on your show if you have Polight over there. Then Sarnetta, see, he holds all these little secrets, and then he'll drop it and make the other person be kind of exposed. He said, okay, well, how can you say that about me when one of your members who was a cousin got convicted of, molestation, and you still support and give him money? So it's things like that Sarnetta knows.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of covering each other because they know too much dirt on each other. You can't call somebody else out when you know you got dirt on you. So they just it sounds like they're just covering each other up.
Right. And even Sarnetta got exposed when him and Polight and his daughter was sitting on his lap. They were having a live, and Sarnetta was basically watching porno, and it was two fat black women with their top showing, and he was, I guess, trying to share a screen, and it popped up and everybody seen it, and a Jamaican guy got so upset and was cussing him out, and they was like, yo, kick him off, why is he doing this? And he was like, yo, that's your sister's brother. I mean, he was deflecting. So Sarnetta has clips out here that exposes his attraction to things that a person who claims to be a pillar of the community have done over and over and over again. And he knew about the Renette, the one that Polight was messing with, that he claimed was his daughter, all the way back to when they first got a house out there in the Pinocchio, and I think what is that P word? They was renting them houses, them timeshares.
Oh,
I forgot. It's up there in New York, but say it again.
Yeah, listen. You've gone so far deep into the story where I'm not even close to. I have no frame of reference of what you're talking about. So listen, where can people go to go deep into this story? Because I don't even know where you're at this point. This is going way over my head.
When he first started touching a little bit of money, it's a video out there. I don't think maybe Triple C and Shaka probably got it, where he had all of his wives, but the one that he was messing with that was young, which is around the same age, because she was on the Jesse Lee Peterson show with Polight and Amonette, the second first wife, because she wasn't his first. But I'm just saying that those who know what I mean when I say Amonette is the second first wife. But the girl was young, and she telling the story how she was like 15 or 16 when Polight was looking at her. She was coming to the bookstore, his bookstore he claimed he had at the time, and they basically, Amonette and them recruited her. But when that's on the Jesse Lee Peterson show years later, after the Vlad and all of them TV shows. But the video I'm talking about, he was calling her his daughter in the video, and the way he talked and said it, it was sexual then. So and Sarnetta, we got the clips of him talking that he knew about that. When him and Polight fell out, and when Polight took $10,000, he started. That's when he called him Baby Dr. York, and he was talking about this girl here. Tashina Barnes is her real name. So this thing goes deep. Sarnetta been knew about this. King Simon, all these cats who was around, Red Pill, Blue Pill, Garfield, all of the so-called House of Consonants all-stars who was already preparing the way for the scam god anti-Messiah, Polight. They all guilty, because if it came down to just, they was around it to put hands and feet, if even that much. Okay, if you ain't gonna call the cops and all that, it should have been some hands and feet because of what took place, but none of them said nothing. And I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna get out of here. All of the elders said nothing. All the Phil Valentines, Queen of Four, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, you got all these old cats, Bobby Hemmett, they was all around. And these is the so-called grandfathers of the conscious community. They said nothing when Polight was doing this. They said nothing, and they saying nothing now. So this is why we have to continue doing the job that we're doing, and you doing what you're doing. I've been doing this for years. Triple C, Shaka, all has been out here in these pockets of YouTube. It's just that it's hard for people, like you say, they don't do no research. Like and again, not to disrespect the present day victim's mother, but they being in these spaces where they attracted to these guys, and they're not doing no due diligence and research. And the sad part about it, and it's no excuse, I'm not saying that, but the woman whose child that got molested, she was with Polight when Zion Lex and them, and Polight was debating and arguing about rape in the Bible, and Polight was justifying it. You understand? And this is before this happened. So it's like these women too need to really look at that. You got kids and stuff like that, but they not spiritually aware either. So a lot of it goes back to not having awareness and being and chasing a bag and trying to be whatever. You end up creating these situations for your children. Again, before I get out, the other guy, Shaka Amos, one of Sonetta's biggest debaters and Kemet and all that. He molested a 14-year-old girl, and she came out a couple years later and
it's getting too heavy for me. It's getting too heavy for me.
Yeah.
Where can we go to get more of this info? Chuck Morgan's page. What channel can we go to?
Yeah, you can go to Chuck Morgan. He could just type in Chuck Morgan YouTube. Triple C can hook you with that. And also Chuck got a website called Nawapianism.com. NUWAPIANISM.com. It got all of the documents of York going to jail and what him messing with a 14-year-old girl, Habiba, and all this stuff is up there. Polight knows this stuff. He was deep into it, and he copied and followed the same spirit that York did. So yeah, I know it's deeper than what we was talking about, but trust me, if your listeners ain't never heard of this, all they got to do is follow the information. Just type in Brother Polight Exposed. You're going to see all types of treasure troves of this stuff.
All right, my brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling in. That was heavy. that was heavy. That was more than what I expected. There's a lot of information out there. People, please protect yourself financially, protect yourself physically, do research before you put yourself in a compromising position. All right, we're getting through all these calls, but they can't be super long. Here we go. We got a caller from 216. Caller from 216 area code. What's going on? 216. Going once.
Hey, is that me?
Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
Oh, hey, JT. This is Marie from Cleveland. So, I'm not going to hold you.
No, go ahead.
But I did want to say, that I think if we kind of zoom out and kind of look at all of this, we'll see that I think as far as the Black community is concerned, a lot of the Black community has been primed to kind of fall for a lot of these HOTEP hustles based off of the prosperity gospel. Black people have always kind of linked their liberation and struggle in this country with a spiritual fight, and so much of it was linked with the church. And when the church started getting into this, going back to Reverend Ike, when the church started getting with this whole prosperity gospel thing and God wants you to be rich, it just seems like the people who were on the political side, they found a lane where they could kind of, use that philosophy as well. Because one of the things that you'll notice is that most of the people that are doing this hustling, there's always they're conscious in the way that we would think of in terms of politically, but there's always also a spiritual side to whatever it is that they're selling as well. And it just seems that people nowadays just seem to think that Black people God just really wants us to be rich, that whole idea. And not that long ago, I remember Dave Chappelle made like a kind of throwaway joke about how MLK and Malcolm X died broke, and how he didn't want to be a Black leader because that means you're going to have to die broke. And I think a lot of people really decided at some point, well, no, the Black leader, we don't have to die broke. The Black leader, we can, if the preacher's getting it and all these other people are getting it, we can get it too. And I just think people need to really understand there is no money in Black liberation. Anybody who is trying to liberate Black people genuinely, there's no money in that. There's money in being a business person. If you want to sell things that people need, or you want to sell things that people don't need, whatever the case may be, you want to be a business person, there's money in that. That is not Black liberation. That's not the politics of it. And we have a whole system in the United States where even, our politicians are bought and sold. And so on so many levels, we're primed to think that there's nothing wrong with these people who claim that they want us to be liberated, there's nothing wrong with them if they also happen to get rich. And to me, that in and of itself, that whole philosophy, we just need to throw that out the door.
Now, listen, I agree. Thank you for calling. I appreciate it. I agree 100%. A lot of these people who claim that they are doing it for the culture, right? They're doing it for the culture. Really, they're doing it for the bag. And the culture are easy to access and get money out of. They do it all the time. Here we go. Caller from 803. 803, you're live on the air. What's going on?
Hey, JT, how's it going, man?
Good. What's going on?
Hello?
Yep, you there.
Okay, check it out. I've been looking at the account for years. You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
If we take a deep look at 90% of these people, they all came from prison. You know what I'm saying? Tanik Nasheed, all of them did jail time and learned these scams and came out there and ran one on people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
90% of the people been to jail and learned their scams. Vicky dealers, all of them.
Damn. That's a good point. Now listen, I'm a believer of people being able to be reformed, right? I'm not saying if you committed a crime that you cannot then change your life. But I do have a little bit of an issue of how forgiving we are of a community when it comes to people who commit pretty bad crimes and then put them on a pedestal as if they are a leader. Like, no. Get out of jail, change your life, but you don't get to go in front of the class as if we need to be like you. You're the one that made the mistake. Now, you're changing your life. Great. You need to be in front of other people who made mistakes to help them. But the people who haven't made mistakes in their life that led them to being in prison, don't be in front of them as a role model. You need to be a role model to other people who made the same mistake as you. We need to make role models the people who didn't fall down and make the mistake that you made. So the prison culture, that's corny to me. People who think, oh, you're not real if you haven't been to jail or you haven't done this. That shows the weakness of a society, flat out. Here we go. Got about 5 or 6 more calls and we're going to wrap it up. Got a caller from the 302 area code. 302, you're live on the air. Yep, you live. Go right ahead. 302. All right, here we go. Caller from 209. 209, you're live on the air. What's going on?
Hello, JT.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, I got a question, like a financial question more so. Is that cool?
Yeah, go right ahead. You got a financial question. Hopefully, I got an answer for you. What's going on?
Yeah, so I kind of trying to keep my hands off, like doing like my financial planning, doing my taxes. Is there like a easy way to find somebody you could trust that you could you just give them a call around tax? Hey, I need to get this done, and just show them the information. Like, is that like a good idea?
Yeah. So are you specifically talking about tax planning, or are you just talking about overall financial planning?
Both. I'm a type I'm bad with doing stuff like that. I just want to pay somebody, just get it done, and I don't want to really think about it.
Okay. This is what I would suggest. In your area, look for an enrolled agent in your area to try to build a relationship with. So an enrolled agent is a tax advisor that specializes in tax planning, representing people before the IRS, and you know that they are going to be laser focused on your issues. While CPAs also are great with tax, the question is, are they going to have the workload to focus on you? Because they could be also focusing on accounting issues, right? Especially during that time. But I would say search for an enrolled agent in your area or a CPA in your area and give yourself a month or two in advance. Don't come to them in the last minute. Give yourself a few months in advance to work with someone. And then what you want to do, you want to build a team. So here we go. You want to build a team around yourself. It doesn't mean that you have to have these people on call and pay a retainer every month, but you want to have at least the phone number and a relationship with 3 professionals: an attorney, a CPA, and a CFP. That's the team. You don't want just one person, right? You need a team. The reason why is you need checks and balances. You want one person looking over the shoulder of the other person. Now, we're all a team. We should be working together, but sometimes one person may make a mistake. And the attorney may help out when the accountant messes up. Or the CFP may help out when the lawyer messes up. And the CPA may help out when the CFP kind of got it a little mixed up. That way, they're all on the same page. But you want a team. You don't need it overnight. But I would suggest to look for an attorney who deals with estate planning to just have a relationship with. Meaning you're only going to get billed when you need work done, but at least have someone that you can call when you need issues like a will, a trust, probate issues, stuff like that. You need a CPA for accounting issues and tax issues. You need a CFP that's going to help you with overall financial planning. All right. So that would be my my tip to you. So thank you for calling in. Here we go. Caller from 516. Caller from 516. You're live on the air. What's going on?
Hey, JT, can you hear me?
Yeah, a little bit. You sound a little far away from the phone, but I can hear you a little bit.
1 second. Hey, JT, can you hear me now?
Much better. Go right ahead.
Yeah, quick. I just want to say this. Good job on all the stuff.
Thank
you. Yeah, and I like how these scammers like to be the Dos Equis guy, you know, the most interesting people in the world. Each one of them knows 13 languages.
They have the most fascinating lives. These guys, like,
yeah, they know every single thing.
Yes.
They're never wrong.
Yes.
You should go to them for every single thing. They have all the beer all the time. Anyway, so that's just.
Hey, listen, no, that was a great point. It went over some people's heads. So let's rewind that back. Listen to what he's saying. These grifters, they have the most fascinating lives. These are people who they've been all over the world. They've studied every subject known to man. It is just amazing. They're never wrong. If they are wrong, it was in the past, and that's what makes them so great today. They're great at everything, but they have absolutely no proof, no evidence of this so-called greatness. Beware of Superman. Beware of Wonder Woman. They don't exist. This person who presents a lifestyle to you as if they're great, they're untouchable. Everything that they do, everything that they touch, it turns to gold. They're the best. It's most likely a grift. It is a scam. Great call. Thank you so much. That was great call. Because these guys, like, listen, I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. There's many subjects that I am completely unaware of. And I will admit, I cannot speak intelligently on a range of topics. It's really this. I've dedicated over half of my life to studying about finance. And it's not even super deep in a lot of the subjects. I have a good understanding of a broad range of stuff in finance because that's the study course of a CFP. We have to know a good amount about a lot. Stuff that I don't know, I'm going to refer you out to a specialist. People who know everything, they know nothing. All right, here we go. Caller from 702. Caller from 702. You're live on the air. What's going on?
Hi, JT. I just want to say that I really enjoyed Brother Polight early on in his stardom making. He is intelligent. He is smart. But when I found out that he ripped off Crypto Roots, someone who I was following and took his crypto courses, that he ripped him off from his dad's life insurance for $100,000, and the whole family was in on it, I lost all respect. And then when I did the research and found that this is how he lives now, it was disheartening. And it was sad that you can start out honest, but then the money just makes you lie to people and use people. And it's just unfortunate, and I'm glad you're covering it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate your point of view on the subject. I mean, money does turn people. Absolutely. If you look at some of the old videos, like if you got free time, I'm not telling you to do it, but listen, if you got some free time, look at some of the old videos of Polight and then look at some of his recent videos. Outside of his face, you wouldn't recognize him. Like he looks like a poor, righteous teacher in the early stages. But then when he got a little bit of money, oh man, he got some money. He's out here. He got a bunch of girls around him, white girls on his arm. The old Polight would have dogged out the new Polight that you see. It's just, it is what it is. All right, here we go. We got caller from 404. Caller from 404 area code. You're live on the air. What's going on?
Man, keep exposing these frauds. Like, I realize it's like 3 telltale signs of fake guru. And the first one, it always gets it's like abundance mind frame, and it's like they'll say, "Oh yeah, if you just have an abundance mind frame, anything can happen." The problem is in our community we have too much of an abundance mind frame. Like for example, someone making $50,000 goes and buys a $100,000 car. Like,
right.
To me, like they don't. It's all you can eat whatever you want to eat and still lose weight. No, you have to eat, a healthy, balanced diet. They're just lying. They're deceiving. They use your emotions against you.
Right.
And I'm glad that you're exposing this, and I'm glad that, because once upon a time on YouTube, that's the only thing you got was the fake. You might have been an ambitious person, and you're listening to them, and they're telling. Then another thing too is what I realized is like these people are trying to fix credit, and they start to tell you, you can just do a chargeback, and and you can rescind all these. They're going to get people arrested. Like this is serious.
Now, you are 100% on it. The abundance mindset, that's all think and grow rich BS. That's all it's all in your mind, right? People are broke because of their mind, right? It's because you think poor, you attract poor to you. Well, there is a thing about having a positive attitude and being focused on your goal. That's a reality. When you have a positive attitude and you are focused on your goal, you will see opportunities that a person who isn't focused on their goals, who don't think good things are going to happen to you, you will miss opportunities. So that's a reality. But by really believing that thinking good things, like listen, I'm going to tell y'all something that many of you have never heard before. Let me show you how deep I've been in the conscious community videos and stuff. I once heard a brother say this. He said that your brain cells are circular. Pay attention. Your brain cells are circular. And when you think, you spin your brain cells, right? When you think hard on something, your brain cells start to turn. And the force of your brain cells turning create a gravitational pull to the things that you want in life. And if you think hard enough on the things that you want, the universe will attract it to you based off the gravitational pull of the spinning brain cells. Listen, it don't get no better than that. And the people in the audience was like, oh my God. That's what we have.
Now, I would
as intellectual.
I wanted to call in that day when you were debating those tax, like it was the tax people that said that you had some type of trust.
Oh,
Like a $1 trillion trust. And I wanted to act like they were selling a course. I was like, yo, so could I pay for the course using my trust? Like, you could take $1 million. I don't care. You could take $1 million off my trust if that trust really existed.
I wish I would have thought of that question. I'd be like, hey, listen, I'll pay for everybody in my audience, all 80,000 of my subscribers. I'll pay for your course if I can use my secret government trust. They can just use my credits.
They're gonna be like, well, wait up, hold up now.
Right. That only works for government debts. That only works for utility bills. It doesn't work with my products.
Yeah, that's basically all I had. But yeah, it was nice talking to you.
Yes, thank you so much for calling in. We got 2 more callers and we're going to wrap this thing up. 2 more. Shouts out to Veronica in the building. Yes, this is Petty over here, right? They call me Petty Murphy, Petty Pendergrass, all of that. Absolutely. I am not your savior. I am not some kind of financial civil rights leader. I'm not going to lead you to your financial hereafter. I'm an extremely petty certified financial planner that spent years studying how to give people good financial advice based on their situation. I have a course. The course is free. I do not attempt to sell you anything in the course. I have a course that's going to help you get out of debt and start saving money. You can go to my website, PocketWatcher.net, click the Pocket Watcher Academy link, and you can learn how to get out of debt and hopefully start to build wealth. Is there any guarantee that it's going to work for you? No, because most of you will not do the things that I say in this course. In this course, I say you have to create a budget for yourself so you don't overspend. Most people aren't going to do that. In this course, I teach you how to prioritize your debt and how to get rid of it. But in order to prioritize your debt and get rid of your debt, you have to make sacrifices in your life. You can't go out drinking and eating at restaurants all the time. You have to actually meal prep and eat some meals at home. Make a sandwich instead of going out to some fast food place. Most people are not going to do that. But if you're willing to make a sacrifice, go PocketWatcher.net, click a Pocket Watcher Academy, and learn how you can get out of debt, how you can save. All right. All right, we got 2 more callers, and we're going to wrap this thing up. We got a caller from the 229. Caller from 229 area code. What's going on?
Hey, JT.
Yes, ma'am. You're back. This Trip C's, right?
Yes.
All right, Trip C's. I got a question for you. Here we go. Here's my question for you. What is the next step for a person like Brother Polight, right? He's going to deny everything. A few weeks ago, he said he wasn't taking a plea when clearly we can see that his attorney said that he's taking a plea. You know, we see that the prosecutors, they say that there's a plea deal in place. In 2 months, in September, it looks like he's going to have to take a plea in open court. What is he going to say to his audience? How is he gonna try to make this look good?
He gonna lie as usual. He gonna lie until his lips fall off because he ain't got no choice. He has to keep the money flowing in order to pay his attorney. Whatever he got left to pay David, he got to pay David. If he go in there in them 60 days, if Judge Altfield is there, because if Judge Altfield would have been there today, I don't think we'd be sitting up here talking about September 6th. But that only works if we got time machines. But I don't think he gonna walk out again unless he walking through the tunnel or whatever they got the jail on the side or downstairs. Yeah. I think it's on the side in Florida because they flood too much to have it downstairs. But yeah,
they took his passport today. Is that right? That's what I heard.
Yes, they took his passport. David was tasked with taking his passport.
Listen, people, I'm not an attorney. I'm a small town financial advisor. But whenever the court takes your passport, it's not a good sign. It's not a good. When the court takes your passport from you, looks like you're going to go somewhere for some time, flat out. Trip C's, listen, tell people where they can find you. Hopefully my moderators are putting your channel in the chat. Let the people know what they can find on your channel.
My channel's exactly like my name, Trip C Treehouse. Hold on 1 second, I'll grab it for you.
Listen, it's some of the best anti-scammer conversations in the Black community. You join in the chat. You can join in on the panel. It's a great opportunity to listen to people who are not under the spell of these scammers. They see these scammers for who they are, and they have a great conversation and a great time. Make sure y'all go check out Trip C's Treehouse. All right. All right, here we go. I got two more callers. Someone just hopped on. We got a caller from 410. Caller from 410. You're live on air. What's going on?
What's up, JT? My man.
Yes, sir.
I ain't called you in a while, brother. I ain't called you in a while, but hey, you know I love these subjects. Hey, but you're gonna have to come up with a new name for this show, man. You know, like the American Greed, it's gonna have to be like Ghetto Greed or something. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to figure out a name for this series. These series, man, they some good ones.
That way I can go mainstream, right? Come up with a name make the show go mainstream.
Hey, you can be a media company like them other guys, with them 3 letters. They say they're a media company now. You know what we talking about.
It's a whole network. It's a whole network. Listen, not to be petty, but I am who I am. Just go over there and look at the numbers.
Right.
Look at the numbers. You can tell across YouTube, numbers are down, right? The pandemic money is gone. Stimulus, PPP, people don't have money for these courses anymore. The numbers are down. Go to some of these so-called networks and look and see people are missing. People who used to be over there all the time, they're not there anymore. Why? I think it's because the money's running out. You can't pay everybody. So some people have jumped off the ship and now they're trying to push their own podcast or push their own YouTube channel because the money's drying up. Just look at the numbers. That's all I gotta say. Now I know some of these guys got millions of subscribers. Some have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Look and see what percentage of their subscribers actually watch their content. Some of them is less than 1%, less than 3%.
Hey, but listen, they all selling something, right? Everybody, but nobody's telling nobody, listen, this is how you go get a trade. This place is hiring to be an electrician. They'll pay you in the daytime. They'll train you in the evening. This plumbing company. Send these people out to do something instead of selling them a bunch of garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like, for clicks and subscriptions, and these people that's interpreting stuff. They reading a book. You can read the same book these people read. None of these people are licensed, got the education, and they tell you they don't. They're reading books. You can read the same thing they read, get the same information, and use it yourself. You don't have to listen to these guys. They just like preachers. They interpreting what they reading to you like the preacher do the Bible. Like, I don't get it, man. And we keep, and listen, we ain't gonna talk about these pedos and stuff no more here, no more JT either. All right? We ain't gonna do that either.
Hopefully it's over. Hopefully we don't have to cover a story like this again.
Hey, I called you though because you had a post on Instagram earlier about my man coming only listen to us. And is that coming soon? Is that series coming on him?
Listen,
the master investor.
There's a lot of people who are sending me information. Unlike what people think, I don't just run with something because someone sends me something. I gotta get things double verified. I gotta make sure. But I got a lot of people sending me a lot of stuff about the master investor, about promises that were made and promises that weren't fulfilled. He promised people certain things if they bought tickets to Madison Square Garden. Those things didn't come out. There's a lot of info out there. Master investor, you know what I'm talking about. If you would like to come on the show and talk about it, hey, I'm giving you the invitation. But if I get too many emails about it, I'm gonna have to do the story. So it's better that you come here first than me have to come after you.
Hey, he ain't coming on. He Hollywood, man. He Hollywood now with his big head stuff. He all right though.
You never know. You never know. All right, my brother. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Sir. Hey, see you later.
All right. All right. Last call of the night. Caller from 570. Caller from 570. You're live on the air. What's going on? 570. Going once.
Hello?
Yeah, you're live on the air. What's going on?
570. Yeah, how you doing, JT?
I'm good. Whatever you listening to me on, go ahead and turn that down. I don't like listening to my own voice.
I just turned it down right now.
All right, what's going on,
to call on and say, yeah, man, I just wanted to call on and give you a shout out, man, because what you're doing is God's work. Yeah, I know you don't like to hear that, but it's really God's work. Because I was one of those person that I got out the military back in 2019, and some people who got out earlier from me. I know you heard of Amway. They almost got me with that, man.
Yes.
They almost got me. I made the payment, and I remember I went on Google that night because, you know, they sell you the dream and everything.
Right.
But I remember making the payment, and I went on Google that night, and I started searching up the company, and then I'm looking at all this scammer stuff and MLM stuff, and I'm like, damn, these people really got me. So I called my bank in the morning and just told them it was a chargeback. And then I went ahead and just blocked all of them.
Listen, they was going to have
man.
A multi-level marketing company, to me, is like a financial cult. It's all about the community. And they put peer pressure on you to stay in. Like, oh, you're almost there. Just keep going. You're almost there. But 9 times out of 10, the person who's telling you that, they're broke. And their upline is telling them the same thing. Stay in, stay in. They alienate you from your family, right? They tell you if your family's not supporting you, cut them off. You know, that you don't need negative people around you. That's what the Church of Scientology tells people too, right? So it's a financial cult. I would never, ever give anyone any type of advice to say join a multi-level marketing company because they pressure you to stay in. I've done tax returns for many people in multi-level marketing companies. Not one of them have ever made a profit. Not one. They've all lost money, period. So,
and that's funny because oh, sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that's funny because when the pandemic came around, I know you remember all this Forex stuff and like Bless and Loom stuff that was going on, right?
Yep.
So when the pandemic came around, I'm located in a small town in Pennsylvania, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's small, but it's big enough where it's a big enough town. So all these Forex people came out from New York and stuff like that. And I realized it right off the back, like, yo, this is a pyramid scheme right away.
Right.
So I had like a little feud going on with them because I would expose them. And I'm the type, I'm petty too. So I'll go on social media. At the time I wasn't, well, I still am, but I'm a real estate investor. And I took some time out to learn about the stock market and get my finances in order.
Right.
So I was doing pretty good for myself and still am. So I went ahead and started posting my bank account, and I'm like, okay, let's play big bank, little bank. Let me see what you got. Let's see some assets. I started posting HUD statements, stuff like that, you know, brokerage accounts. I'm like, you guys are promoting all this Forex stuff, but nobody's posting real deposits. Nobody's showing the real money.
They show the same screenshots. It's the same. They share the same screenshot of the same trades that made money, and they make it sound as if that was a trade they made. With 9 times out of 10, that was probably in a dummy account, and they really didn't make that money. And they made probably 100 trades, and maybe 5 of them look good in the dummy account, and that's the one that they screenshot and show everybody.
Yeah, no, that's true. And man, when they come after you, they're like a pack of wolves.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
At the time, man, when they would come after me, it was like at least 30 accounts. My account got reported and taken down once. They were coming at me like a pack of wolves. So at least one thing I give them, they probably built good teamwork. So they could have put that on their resume after leaving those MLMs.
Team building. Yeah, that's the one thing they do. Thank you so much for calling in. Hey, listen, for anyone who love multi-level marketing content, go subscribe to Always Marco. Always Marco. This guy is from Canada. He does great live streams about multi-level marketing companies. He also has great investigative stories on multi-level marketing companies. Like he'll go to a pitch meeting with a camera, with a hidden camera, and he'll show the whole grift. Always Marco. Me and him, we're working on a collab together. Hopefully I can get it together soon, but go check out Always Marco. Great content. I got one more caller, and I'm only letting you on because it's a 314 number, so I'm going to let you on. So here we go. Caller from 314, last call of the night. What's going on? 314. Hello? Yeah, go right ahead.
Oh, yeah, man. I was the one that put you doing the Lord's work, man. I appreciate it because like yourself, I went to school, my background in engineering, and I know when I made that transition to corporate America and they tell us about investments, one thing they echo that you say a lot, hey, it's a lot of risk, and you say it's something for the long haul. There's no quick fix, man. So
yeah.
Again, man, appreciate your content, man. Keep dropping it, man. And I'm gonna pass the collection plate next to the next caller.
All right, my brother. From the home team, 314 area code. You are actually the last caller of the night. So thank you so much to everybody out there, everyone who supported the content, to the over 80,000 of you guys. I appreciate it. I'm not here trying to sell you guys on how y'all gonna get rich overnight. Apparently, everybody is interviewing this particular person who's telling you how you can become a millionaire with a automated YouTube channel. He's making his rounds around all the finance podcasts, teaching you how you can become a millionaire with a YouTube channel that you never have to show your face, you never have to do any editing. Come on, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, right? It's not going to work for you. The only person who's going to make millions of dollars from a YouTube channel that's automated is the person who sells you the course on how to do it. You're not going to make any money on an automated YouTube channel with AI generated voices and all this stuff. It's not going to happen. YouTube actually has filters to make sure that you don't get monetized off channels like that. So it is what it is. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. The Pocket Watcher is out.
Need more? Book your personal consultation with my man JT at PocketWatcher.net.
Double check that. That's pretty good. Not crying, are you? Let's tighten that.
Ooh.
Wait, what was that? What? No, don't worry about that. Here we go.
Asking the right question can greatly impact your future.
Are you qualified to do this? What?
Especially when it comes to your finances.
Do you have a question?
Are you a certified financial planner?
Yes, I'm a CFP professional.
CFP professionals are committed to acting in your best interest. That's why it's gotta be a CFP. Find your CFP professional at letsmakeaplan.org.